Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 33 of the Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 23, where we get through the last day of July and the first week of August, which means it is the day of the trade deadline. So we'll see what the Mariners do in this episode, but before we get to the actual deadline part of the day, we're going to take a look at this home series against the Boston Red Sox. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Luis Castillo will get the nod for the Mariners today, making his 20th start of the season. And leading off for the Red Sox will be the former Blue Jay Raimel Tapia, who will get the day started with a quick fly out to right center, where Hernandez is underneath it. And we'll take a look at the Boston Red Sox lineup for this evening. Saul Tapia up next will be the DH Alex Verdugo, followed by the third baseman Rafael Devers, Trevor Story at second, Justin Turner at first, Masataka Yoshida, who's putting together a pretty impressive rookie campaign, out in left, Adam Duvall in right, Yu Chang is the shortstop, and then catcher is Ryan Jeffers. Verdugo up next swings and misses. He's been the best hitter so far on the season for the Red Sox. And then it's the powerful third baseman Devers, who also swings and misses, so Castillo nicely gets through the top of the first. On the mound for the Red Sox will be the lefty Chris Sale, who made the All-Star team this season, putting together a 13-5 record with a 2.71 ERA through 21 starts. And leading off for the Mariners today will be J.P. Crawford, a little bit of a different look, considering we are going up against a lefty. No Colton Wong in the lineup today. Instead, Crawford begins by chopping this one over to second base for the first out. And we'll take a look at this Mariners lineup. A little bit different than what you're used to. Crawford. Next up, we'll see Cesar Hernandez, who gets the nod at second base. He was called up a couple of weeks ago, right after the All-Star break. Then we'll see Ty France, Julio Rodriguez, Teoscar Hernandez, A.J. Pollock. The usuals, but Pollock is DHing today. Suarez at third, Haggerty getting the start in left. And then at catcher, we're also going to see Tom Murphy. Here is Cesar Hernandez, who grounds it over to third. He's been okay since being called up to the bigs. Ty France up next, full count pitch. Hits this one softly into center field, where it'll be caught out there by Tapia. And the Mariners go down 1-2-3. Top four, Red Sox held hitless today until this one. Alex Verdugo launches an absolute bomb to right field. I mentioned he's been the best hitter on the season for the Red Sox. Well, he has another home run to his tally with his 14th of the season, gives the Red Sox an early lead. Red Sox sit 49-56 on the season. They're only 3.5 games out of the wild card, so this is a big series for them, and they just draw first blood. Bottom four now, again with the Mariners at the top of the order. J.P. Crawford gets a nice fastball and does it deeply to right center, where it'll bounce up over the wall for an automatic double, his 21st double of the season. So he's already in scoring position, but Cesar Hernandez will strike out on the inside slider. Sale has a nasty slider. Up next, France up the middle. Nice diving stop over there by Chang as he tries to make the play, but can't get him in time. So it'll be an infield hit. And runners on the corners for Julio Rodriguez. 0-for-1 on the day, 0-1 pitch, and he chops one up the middle, and this one's going to get through. An RBI single for J-Rod, who I would say is broken out of the slump that plagued him for the early portions of this month. He ties it up for the Mariners. Next batter, Teoscar Hernandez lifts a fastball, goes down and gets it to deep left center, and this one clears the wall. A 3-run shot for Teoscar Hernandez gives the Mariners their first lead of the day off of what would be his 17th home run of the season. I said that the microscope is on him, and I think he heard me because he has played absolutely sensational since the All-Star break. 4-1 now in favor of the Mariners. Next batter, A.J. Pollock, DHing today. He swings and misses on the down and away fastball for the second out. And that'll bring up Eugenio Suarez, 1-2 pitch to him, and he can't connect on the fastball. So Sale strikes out the next two batters, but a 4 spot here by the Mariners gives them a big lead. And how about another one? Sam Haggerty with a no-doubt shot to left field over the scoreboard and gone. Making the most of his left field start today, Haggerty, a nice switch hitter off the bench. And he hits his third home run of the season, tacks one more on for the Mariners. They now extend their lead. They lead 5-1 here in the fifth. Go top six now. Castillo still on the mound. Outside of the home run, he's pitched very well today. Strikes out Tapia again. That'll bring up Alex Verdugo, who did see homer today. He's done very well, as you can see, against right-handed pitching. It's been on display already in this one, hitting .316 on the season. He's got a full count pitch from Castillo, and he swings and misses on the fastball. Castillo not afraid. Downs another one with the K. So now quickly 2 down for Rafael Devers, and he gets a sinker and drills it to deep center field. Devers has some power, and it's on display here as that one is gone over the center field wall for a 1-run homer. His 24th homer of the season. Devers has been swinging a very hot bat recently. Coming off of a 3-game series in San Francisco, Devers went 7 for 15 with a home run and 2 RBIs in that series. And he picks it up here with another one against Seattle. 5-2 now and still in favor of the Mariners. The next batter, Trevor Story, will draw a walk. I'll put him on first base, and then Justin Turner, the very next pitch, is going to single into center field. So the Red Sox maybe not done here. A little bit of a 2-out rally as they have runners on the corners now for Masataka Yoshida. 1-2 pitch, and he skies it to second base where the shortstop Crawford is underneath it, and that'll be caught. But the Red Sox do get one here in the 6th. We'll go bottom 6 now as sales day is done after 5. Nick Pivetta will come in relief for the Red Sox. 6.04 ERA on the season. Not done very well so far. He does get Francis swing and miss on a nice knuckle curve for the first out. That'll bring up Julio Rodriguez. He gets an 0-1 fastball. He lifts it to deep center field, but got a little bit too much air underneath it as Tapia will put that one away. How about Hernandez? Tasker is not going to waste any time. He singles up the middle as he continues putting together a very solid day. A 2-out single puts him on first base for A.J. Pollock, who has been very steady the past couple of months. He's due to be a free agent after this season, and he's putting up numbers that are showing that he is worthy of another contract. 0-2 pitch to him, and he gets tied up inside on the fastball, so he goes down. The Mariners get nothing in the 6th, so we'll go top 7, where the All-Star Penn Murphy will come in relief, one of our 2 All-Stars who made it here in Seattle. 0.9 ERA on the season. It's not hard to see why, as he gets the first batter, Duvall, to ground up behind second base for the first out of the inning. Yu Chang up next, 0-1 pitch to him, and he drills this one to deep left field, and Yu Chang is going to send this one out. Up over the scoreboard, that one goes as well, and then Red Sox get another one here in the top of the 7th. Murphy gives up a very rare home run, and it's Yu Chang's 5th of the season. The Red Sox again cut into this lead held by Seattle. They're now down by 2. It's 5-3 in favor still of the M's. Ryan Jeffers up next. He swings and misses on the slider. Jeffers acquired on May 31st, a couple of months ago, from the Minnesota Twins. And then Tapia will look at strike 3, so Murphy settles down and ends the inning. Top 8, Yency Almonte will come in out of the pen. He was acquired a couple of months ago from the Dodgers in a trade, as he's looked very good since coming over to Seattle. First batter, he faces Alex Verdugo, who pops it up into shallow center, where J.P. Crawford will go back and make the play. Devers up next, chopper of the middle. What a backhand by Almonte. Spears it and throws him out at first. Just a quick flick of the glove for the second out of the inning. And then Trevor Story lines one to left, but it's right at Haggerty. And Almonte gets him to go down 1-2-3, which means we're going to go into the top of the 9th, and it's time for Andres Munoz. He's been sitting on 36 saves for quite some time. He's been trying to get number 37, and Turner's going to hit one to left center, but Rodriguez, with excellent speed, is going to glove that one for the first out. Yoshida up next, who's been very, very cold the past couple of weeks. He's going to fly out to center for the second out, which means it's all up to the former Brave, Adel Duvall. He had 2 homers in the series in San Francisco. He could really use another one here, but he swings and misses on the slider running away to end the ball game. Munoz makes him go down 1-2-3, and he does get that 37th save of the season as the Mariners do win this one by a final score of 5-3. Very good 4th inning for the Mariners is really what propelled them in this one. That 4th spot gave them all the cushion that they needed. Had a couple of solo shots for the Red Sox, but just wasn't enough as the Mariners get the win. 5 runs on 7 hits, while the Red Sox had 3 on only 4 hits. Castillo pitched a very good game overall, gets his 7th win of the season, while Sale will take the loss, and Mariners take Game 1. The player of the game for this one was Teoscar Hernandez, who went 2 for 3 with the home run in the 4th inning, which, like I said, gave the Mariners their lead, and they never looked back. So the big festivities of the day, it is the trade deadline, and the Mariners, well, they're doing very good this season, and obviously they want to be buyers, can potentially continue to push for the postseason. So what are they going to do? Here's a look at the trade block. There's nothing really out there anymore. A lot of the big names have already been traded for, but the Mariners, they do want another lefty bat off the bench to kind of help them out. And unfortunately, they've waited a little bit long because there were a couple of guys they had eyes on who have already been traded. Joey Votto was the top target. He got dealt to the Tampa Bay Rays a couple weeks ago. And then there was Brandon Belt, another guy that they wanted, but they just couldn't agree to a trade with the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays kind of wanted a big package for him, and instead he got sent to the Orioles. So who does that leave left on the trade block? Well, there's Jared Walsh out there. He's a lefty for the Los Angeles Angels. He's a 74 overall C potential. He had a very good 2021. 2022 wasn't as kind to him, and he's actually played really well this past month. His average was in the 230s, but now it's up to the 260s. So he's a guy that the Mariners could take a look at to get another lefty bat off the bench, as he's got a positive WAR, he's slugging not too bad, and he still has 2 years of team control left. So Angels, though, are still pushing for the playoff. You can see they're still trying to push for a playoff. They have Ohtani on the last year of his contract. They want to take advantage of it. Yes, they sit 49 and 58, but this is a very weak American League, and they're only 4.5 games out of the wild card. So the Angels are going to want some players back that they think can push for a playoff spot. Now, the Angels are currently seeking a relief pitcher, a catcher, a second baseman, and a third baseman. And we actually have had a spare catcher sitting on the trade block, Tom Murphy, who has not had a good season this year in his limited appearance. He's good against lefties, but he just hasn't put it together this season. He did very good in only 14 games last year. And in my opinion, we have Cal Raleigh, so that makes him expendable. Now, if you look at the Angels catcher situation, it's not that great. Murphy would be the top-rated catcher. They have Logan O'Hoppe, who's a very talented catcher, but he's still very young, and Stassy's still dealing with a shoulder tear, so it makes sense to send Murphy to the Angels. Now, if you click in Tom Murphy, they would do this deal as is. Now, I don't know, I can't feel good about that because Murphy has had a very bad season, and to me, this isn't really a fair trade. So the Angels also want a relief pitcher, so we're going to send them over Justin Topa as well. Now, he is a deep potential 66, but don't let the potential fool you. He's been improving this season. He played very good in the 8 games that he did for us with a 1.46 ERA. Just didn't have space for him in the bullpen. So he's been down at AAA, and he's got a .42 ERA. So I think Topa's a guy who's outplaying his potential this season. Could give the Angels another guy in the bullpen. So this is the trade that's going to be made. Jared Walsh for Tom Murphy and Justin Topa, and they accept. So the Mariners do make a move at the deadline. They get a lefty bat that they want in Walsh, who has 72 contact and 77 power against righties. He'll mostly play against right-handed pitching. I don't see him playing against lefties too much unless he needs a spot start out in the corner outfield spots or first base. So he's the new move, the newest Mariner. Now we do need a backup catcher now, so we're going to call up Cooper Hummel. We don't have a lot of depth at catcher as is, so Hummel does have a little bit of major league experience. Nothing special, he's just going to be the backup catcher for the rest of the season, which means we also got to send a player down. So we are going to send down Cesar Hernandez. He's only hit 230 at-bats. Small sample size, but I think Hernandez will come up again in about a month when our roster expands. So it's also the day to sign draft picks, and I completely forgot about that. I just went ahead and simulated the day. So we did not sign 2 of our draft picks, our last 2, including the left fielder in Brooks, who I maybe would have signed, but oh well, it's not that big of a deal. Only one trade was made between the Blue Jays and the Giants, nothing really big on the deadline. So back to the Major League Club. We do lose game 2 by a final score of 9-2. Jared Walsh's first game as a Mariner, he went 1 for 3 with the double, but the M's did lose. They do win game 3 though, and the series, as this time the Mariners win by a final score of 9-2. Hernandez went 3 for 4 with a home run, did 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. So Teoscar Hernandez really starting to turn it on in the last half of the season. And now we have a 4-game set on the road against the team that we just conducted that trade with at the deadline, the Los Angeles Angels, who sit 49 and 60 on the season. 5.5 games, though, out of the wild card in what has been a weak American League. Unfortunately, though, it is not a revenge game, as both players involved in the trade who are in the big league club are not playing today, as we're going up against a lefty. So this is our lineup. We'll see Wong, Crawford, France, Julio, Teoscar Hernandez, AJ Pollock, Suarez, Raleigh, and Haggerty. A lot of the same guys you saw in the first half of the episode. While for the Angels, Murphy would usually play against lefties since he's joined this squad, but he is actually getting a day off instead. The 23rd round pick in 2018, Logan O'Hoppe, will get the call at catcher, and you can see the lineup here in front of you. On the mound for the Angels will be Patrick Sandoval, who's usually a pretty solid pitcher, but is not having a very good 2023 campaign. 5.45 ERA on the season, a 1.54 whip. He'll start his day against Colton Wong. He gets a 2-2 pitch and just kind of bunts a slider back to Sandoval, and he will make the first play of the game. Next up will be J.P. Crawford, 2 lefties in a row, and he will get a slider that pokes it out to left field, but this one is going to get caught out there by Taylor Ward for the second out of the inning. Then the righty of Ty France will pop up, hitting .299 on the season. That'll bump him up above 300 as he singles down the left field line with 2 away. And I'll bring up Julio Rodriguez up next. 2-2 pitch to him, and he can't lay off of the low circle change. And that'll end the first. On the mound for the Mariners will be the 2021 AL Cy Young Award winner Robbie Ray, who's made 21 starts this season with a 3.33 ERA. He'll begin against the shortstop Gio Urshela, and the former Minnesota Twin will hit a nice fly ball to left field. However, not deep enough, as that one will be caught by Haggerty. Taylor Ward up next, first pitch swing, and this one hit into the right center field gap, and it's gonna be caught. Julio Rodriguez ranges over, makes the play. That's the great thing about having such speed out there in the outfield. That'll bring up the three-time AL MVP Mike Trout on a 15-game hit streak, and he will chop this one over to first, though, and France will put him away to end the first inning. We'll go top two now. Teoscar Hernandez leading off for the M's, and he'll lace a circle change into the left center gap, and this one's going to get down. It bounces off the bottom of the wall, and Teoscar, who's been swinging a very hot bat since the All-Star break, has himself a leadoff double. I'll bring up Pollock up next, DHing again today. He chops this one over to second. Easy play at first, but Hernandez does move over to third. And the next batter, Eugenio Suarez, will chop this one over to short. Easy play over to first, but it will score the first run of the ball game. Hernandez crosses home plate, and it's 1-0 Mariners. Cal Raleigh up next, 1-0 pitch, and he perfectly laces this one past the diving glove of Luis Rengifo. That'll be a 2-out single for now the everyday catcher of the Seattle Mariners. Sam Haggerty up next, chopper up the middle. It's going to get through, so back-to-back singles now with two away. Gets the Mariners right to the top of the lineup. Maybe not done here in the inning, as Wong, though, will swing and miss on a circle change. So, yes, that'll end the second inning with the Mariners up 1-0. We'll go bottom two now with the Angels as Shohei Ohtani, Showtime, steps up into the batter's box. And the 2021 AL MVP is going to hit a deep fly ball to right field. This one carrying to the wall, but Hernandez has just enough space on the warning track to make the grab. Brandon Drury up next, and he's going to get a fastball and poke this one out to right center field. And this one's carrying to the scoreboard, and Rodriguez has to look up. A solo shot for Brandon Drury as that one clears the fence. His 14th home run of the season, and the Angels waste no time in tying the ball game back up at 1 apiece with a solo shot here in the bottom of the second. We'll go bottom five now as Logan O'Hoppe will step in, the spot starter at catcher today, having a pretty decent young campaign. He gets a 3-2 pitch and hits this one through the right side of the infield for a base hit, so the leadoff man on for the Angels. I'll bring up Brett Phillips up next. He's actually going to try to bunt this one, and this one's going to drop. O'Hoppe wasn't sure if it was going to be caught or not, so he gets kind of caught in an unfortunate situation, and he's thrown out at second. So Phillips is on first. He has some speed over there, and Robbie Ray's ready for it. Goes for the pickoff and guns Phillips down. Robbie Ray has a really good pickoff move, and it was on display there. So quickly 2 down now for the Angels, and Gio Urshela will smack one up the middle for a base hit. So again, now a runner on first for Angels as Taylor Ward will hit this one into center field, but Rodriguez will range in and make the play. And we're still tied at 1 through 5 innings. Both pitchers doing very good in this one. That'll bring up Ty France to begin the top of the 6th. He'll hit a circle change into left field, his second hit of the ball game. How about Julio Rodriguez, 2-2 pitch. Chopper over to short. Easy play for Urshela. He flips it to Rengifo, who flips this one over the dugouts. An E4 for Rengifo. That should have been an easy double play. Instead, Rodriguez is on second. There's one out for Teoscar Hernandez, who's turned it on. 1 for 2 on the day. 2-2 pitch to the former Blue Jay. He's going to smack this one through the left side of the infield. That's going to be an RBI for Hernandez as Rodriguez will score with ease. And the Mariners retake the lead 2-1. The error already proves costly. Pollock up next. He'll hit this one over to second base. Rengifo fields it, tries to go to second, and he throws Urshela off the bag. That's the second error of the inning for Luis Rengifo. This inning should be over, and instead there's 2 on with 1 out, and Patrick Sandoval is getting pulled. He will end his day as Jaime Barria will come in relief, trying to end what has been a disaster inning defensively, specifically for Rengifo. The next batter, Suarez, will take a 2-1 pitch, hit this one deep into the left center gap. Ward all the way at the wall, and he makes the play, crashing into the wall. Teoscar will tag and go to third, so we'll put runners on the corners with 2 down. Cal Raleigh up next. He perfectly times on another pitch today, and this one's hit deep to right field, and is out of here. A quick 2-second 3-run shot for Cal Raleigh, and again, the error proves costly. This inning should have been over a long time ago, and instead it's the Mariners who now host a 5-1 lead in the 6th inning. I'll bring up Sam Haggerty up next. He's first pitch swinging, chops it right in front of the catcher, O'Hoppe, who fields it, and finally, the top of the 6th is over. We'll go into the 7th inning now. Penn Murphy comes in, our all-star reliever, out of the pen. His ERA is finally up over 1 at 1.02. He gets Rendon to look silly on the first batter of the bottom half of the inning. And then Rengifo, who had the 2 costly errors early, is just going to pop an easy fly ball for Suarez for the quick second out. And then Logan O'Hoppe up next, 1-2 pitch. Chopper to Crawford at short, and Murphy does what he does best, and that's come out of the pen and go 1-2-3. Former Rocky Carlos Estevez will come out, 4.70 ERA. That's not what the Angels paid 2 years, $13.6 million for in the offseason. They'd like to see a little bit more out of their reliever. As first batter he sees is Julio Rodriguez, who gets the green light on 3-0, and he smacks it into center field through a fastball right down the middle. So that's a single for Julio, who has some wheels, and he's going to go try to steal second base and gets in there with ease. The throw from O'Hoppe is way not in time. And that's another stolen base for Rodriguez, his 24th of the season. So now he's in scoring position here for Teoscar, who rips it over to third, and he will be thrown out at first. So at least it's not a double play, but Julio couldn't advance. The next batter, Pollock, and Julio is actually on his horse again, trying to swipe third, and he does. The 25th stolen base of the season for J-Rod, who's put himself now 90 feet from home plate. Pollock up next, though, gets a slider right at the middle, and he pops it up right behind second base. That will not be deep enough to score Rodriguez. So now the Mariners need a base hit to bring him home, and Suarez cannot deliver. So despite great base running from Julio, no runs in the inning for the Mariners. We'll go top 9 with Jose Quijada coming in out of the relief for the Angels, as Mariners will try to get one more insurance run off of the 3.92 ERA lefty, as Cal Raleigh, who has a home run already today, hits one into right field again, but this one's going to be caught this time by Brett Phillips. Sam Haggerty up next, and he will drive a fastball deep to left field. Ward has to go all the way back of the wall for this one, and he makes the crash again into the wall, but makes the play. So now 2 down for Wong, who turns on a fastball of his own, this time to deep right field. And Phillips, though, will have enough space. So some loud outs, but the Mariners will only take a 4-run lead into the 9th, where Bruce Darker Adderall, who came into the 8th, is going to be tasked with getting through the 9th as well. First batter is Showtime, and that's an easy pop fly for Raleigh. Trout and Ohtani have been rendered mute today. As now Brandon Drury has the only bit of offense for the Angels. Will just ground out to second. Quick 2 down, and now it's going to be up to Anthony Rendon, who is 0 for 2 on the day, but he get on base in the 4th via the walk. He's first pitch swinging, chopping this one over to Crawford, who fields it, and he makes the throw over to first, and that'll be your ball game. The Mariners take game 1 of this 4-game set in Anaheim by a final score of 5-1. Pitching was great. However, it really was just the errors from Luis Rengifo in this game. You hate to single out a player, but he did single-handedly cost the Angels in this one. 1 run on 3 hits, 2 errors for the Angels. 5 runs on 9 hits for the Mariners. Robbie Ray gets the win. Sandoval gets the loss, but it's not really fair on him. And player of the game is going to go to Robbie Ray, going that 6 strong innings of 3-hit ball, and only really gave up the home run. Game 2, we also win by a final score of 4-2 as Jared Walsh, the revenge game happens. He goes 3 for 4 and drives in a run, so he did very well in this outing. Murphy had 2 of his own against his former squad. Game 3, win by a final score of 13-8, and Robinson Cano continues his great season. 4 for 5 with a home run and 4 RBIs. The man cannot be stopped. It is a 4-game set, though. We do drop Game 4 8-1 as George Kirby gave up 4 innings pitched and 5 earned runs, unlike what we've seen of Kirby this season. And that'll take us to a day off for the Mariners. And since we have a day off, I think we'll go ahead and go down to the farm again. This will probably be the last time we go down to our minor league squads, but it's been a while since we've seen them. And since we're checking on prospects, I think next episode will be a great time to reveal what our draft picks, overalls, and potentials are going to be. So you don't want to miss the next one. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.